Chris Godwin coming off a 21-point performance last week against the Panthers. His targets are up. He's in an offense that throws the football, and the Saints have allowed the most fantasy points per game to wide receivers this season. At number 4, Lamar Miller. Hey, one of my unsung heroes. This is a guy who's rushed for over 100 yards in 4 of his last 6 games, including a big game against the Titans 2 weeks ago. He's averaged over 15 fantasy points per game since week 7. I'd flex him against the Colts. At number 3, Julian Edelman. I get it. He gave you a stinker last week against the Vikings, but how about this? Edelman has scored no fewer than 14.6 fantasy points in 6 straight games against the Dolphins. He's also put up over 20 points in 4 of those 6 contests. So start Julian Edelman. At number 2, Mark Ingram. 2 weeks in a row, he has absolutely killed your fantasy football team. If you survived, start him against the Buccaneers. They've allowed 18 total touchdowns and an average of more than 28 fantasy points per game to running back. So Ingram should break out of his 2-week funk. And at number 1, Jalen Samuels. That's right, James Conner's already been declared out for this week. Samuels will come in and be the guy for the Steelers in a backfield. Well, we've seen a lot of fantasy points from that backfield over the years, and he's got a great matchup against the Raiders, who've allowed the most rushing yards to running backs this season. So Jalen Samuels could be a fantasy hero for you in Week 14. And those are my Fabs Fast 5 playoff flexes.